What is going on, everybody? This is another edition of Techbot After Dark, the show where, oh man, I got to turn up this light a little bit. It's a little too dark in here. The show where pretty much anything goes, but we love to talk Marvel. I'm a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge fan of the movies, the TV shows, although it hasn't been any TV shows yet, but coming soon. I like to talk all things Marvel. We talk a lot of Funko and a lot of other live streams that I do, but in this one, I like to talk about my other favorite, and that is anything Marvel. Whether it's comics, whether it's stuff like that, and I'll talk DC too. I'm sure I'll get my daily dose of Robert Pattinson bashing somewhere in the show at some point, but we'll get to that point. And so I want to welcome you out of the show. And this week's guest has been a good fan, a good member of watching my live stream with me and Wayne. He's always there. I've had great communication with this guy. He's got high energy videos. So if you have not subscribed to him, you are missing out. He is the rocker with the Funko Pops. We have Chase's Kingdom. What is up, buddy?
Hails from the kingdom. Thanks for having me, Tech.
So my fellow Floridian here, and we will definitely eventually at one point get together and do something sure. With whatever. Definitely. I know you're a big Marvel fan,
yes.
like myself, and
here to talk about Marvel.
Oh yeah. I talk about it every single week that I am constantly having Marvel withdrawals right now because we really haven't had. We've been talking about Phase 4 for a year and a half.
Yeah,
and we still have nothing.
And pushing it back. Yeah.
I'm waiting for the big meetings that are supposed to be coming up this upcoming week from Disney. So there's rumored to be possibly big news coming up this week. So we will definitely keep an eye on it. And anything news I do give you, come back to me next week. I will have more info. But there has already been tons of news out recently, hasn't there?
First thing this morning, as soon as I woke up.
Man. And we talked about it in the live stream with Wayne and I briefly, and we'll definitely go into more depth today. But of course, the huge news is the announcement from Time Warner of the top 6 movies coming out of next year, which includes movies like Fast and the Furious. Jurassic Park's Universal. I can't remember. In fact, let me pull up. It's a great lineup too, and I was just astonished by the movies they were going to be getting. And Hbo Max 2021 movies.
Here we go.
It's huge. It's huge, guys. And when I saw this, and this started coming out one day, it was found to be official, I believe today. Was the official announcement. But so if you guys don't know, first of all, and you guys didn't catch our live stream earlier, HBO, of course, Time Warner owns HBO. It's basically Hbo Max is basically their streaming service of sorts. If I don't even know if I'd call HBO Max a streaming service. I don't know. It's a movie channel. It's not really a streaming service, but I think they're going to try to make it that way. But I never had HBO. I never paid the extra, but this may actually get me to get it. Now, I knew everybody knows that they're going to be releasing Wonder Woman 1984 on Christmas Day on HBO Max. That's a huge that right there was huge news. But now they announced that all of their movies next year, they have officially announced that the day of release, they're going to be releasing their movies in the theaters, well, whatever theaters are left, along with on HBO Max.
Right.
Huge. This is just it's going to change. It's going to change how we look at things. All right, so here's that list that I was talking about. So you got Godzilla versus Kong. That's huge. That's going to be a great movie. Top Gun Maverick.
See, I've been waiting on that one.
I've been waiting on that one too.
That's going to be the one nobody expects to be as good as it's going to be. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, I'm a huge Top Gun fan as it is. I mean, who isn't I can still watch Top Gun today and enjoy every bit of it.
But it's not going to be a Ghostbuster.
No, it's not. But we're talking about a whole nother one then. And I can't remember who Ghostbusters is going through, but that new one with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
The new one with Paul Rudd looks fantastic.
Yes.
Well, because actually, I think the difference between that and the catastrophe that was the last Ghostbusters was the fact that Dan Aykroyd produced this one.
Oh, well, yes. You can't.
That's his baby.
Right. He's going to keep it the way it's supposed to be. Yeah.
Baby, so he's going to keep it. So that wasn't actually a complete list. But I did read them off the other day. Oh, Dune. I know Dune 4 or Dune, whatever it is going to be another one that is in the list. I'm trying to find it here. Verge sucks. I don't even know why I brought up that.
Oh, huge Dune fan too. And I mean, what's that? That'll be the third
I think
fourth.
I think the way the graphics are now, I think it can really do give Dune that real pop. I think they had it before, but it was always that cheesy kind of graphics. But I think they can really pull it off now. Matrix, the next Matrix. I mean, come on, that's gonna be HBO Max.
They're pulling out all the stops.
They are. They're pulling out all their big ones.
Big guns. Big guns.
And then, like I said, and I think, you and I briefly talked beforehand, and I think a lot of us are in agreement that in reality, I think, just like I told Wayne today, just like the world of the paperback book or the hardback book, once that became digital, it became a digital world. You're still going to have those hardcore people that want those books. That's why you're still going to find theaters around. But you're going to get, for one, this is actually going to be good in two ways if you think about it. One is going to be able to bring, stuff to us that maybe we don't want to go spend the movie on. Maybe we don't want that theater experience. We all know that theater experience is fantastic. But two, the theaters that are left are going to have to step up their game.
They're going to have no choice.
They're going to have to step up their game. They're going to have better prices. They're going to have to produce more to be able to get us to come out and pay those theater prices. And I'm not talking about the tickets, because the tickets are going to be the same exact cost as we're paying to watch it in our home. I'm talking about the cost of being able to go to the theater. Now,
the whole experience, the food, the drink, everything.
Exactly. And the one I go to out here, I enjoy it. It's a nice theater. They got the lounge chairs, they got the food they bring to your table, full menu, stuff like that. But I think more theaters are going to have to really step it up to be able to compete at this point. Because, you think about it, to a certain extent, theaters have kind of held a monopoly for many, many years.
For a long time. And, Netflix started it all with you could rent movies at home.
Oh, that's what the killer of the blockbuster movie.
Yeah. And then it was done. No more Blockbuster.
No more Blockbuster video. No more having to worry about returning your videos on time and getting charged late fees. No getting those extra fees for not rewinding your videos. It was the death of Blockbuster. And and I know we use the title of the death of the theater, but do I really think this will kill the theaters by any means? No.
No.
You're still going to want those movies. There's Marvel movies that I would still say, I still kind of want that theater experience. You want that rumbling of the seats. You want that, especially if you go to opening weekend, like we talked about with Endgame. You go to that opening weekend, you got that theater filled with people, and you want to be able to, not only is everybody there a fan, but you get that surround and of everybody enjoying. But then again, you sitting at home, like Beer Barbarian was saying, you're sitting at home and you don't have to worry about that guy possibly talking on a cell phone the whole time, that other guy coughing, especially in the world that we live in of everybody worrying about germs. Everyone's become the germaphobe, me included. I mean, I'm not gonna lie there.
Same here for years.
You're not gonna have to worry about that. You're not gonna worry about your feet being sticky as you walk out of the theater. You can stay in your own home. You can have that pizza in your oven, or you can call Domino's and probably be cheaper than a bucket of popcorn and a large soda.
Put the movie on pause and go use the bathroom.
Exactly. And especially nowadays, a lot of people nowadays with you can it doesn't really take that much to have a great home theater experience with the technology of sound bars nowadays, everything being wireless, stuff like that. So, if you already have that, if you already invested in that, all you need is Disney Max. Now, the big question here is, now that HBO Max, why did I say Disney Max?
Because they're here.
And my question to you is, we all know that there's big meetings at Disney happening this new week, with possibly huge news coming. What do you think we're gonna get?
Because Disney's already set up for the Star Wars. There's how many phase 1, 2? I mean, the new Obi-Wan's coming, and they've already, I think they announced 5 seasons of Mandalorian.
Yeah, 5. From what I understand, they got 5 seasons of Mando.
So, it could be anything. It literally could be anything with Disney.
I'm hoping for one. Of course, we've got technically we're behind on 2 Marvel movies.
For sure,
we're behind.
Black Widow.
Give us Black Widow at least. And then Eternals was supposed to come out this month.
Yeah, there you go.
Or this November, last November, Eternals was supposed to come out.
Right. Winter Soldier's supposed to tie in with Black Widow.
Well, technically, Winter Soldier was supposed to come out before WandaVision.
Yeah. So they reshuffled, and they might reshuffle again. They was it 6 or 9 movies total.
Well, as long as of course, Kevin Feige has come over and said, there's things inside each movie that do connect with one another, but the way they felt, they originally had an order to be able to connect them, but they felt that even changing the order really doesn't make a difference. But I went, in which I agree, it probably is not going to make too much of a difference until Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange 2, I think, is going to be the key to phase 4.
Everything's supposed to culminate to that point.
Yeah. So, it's going to culminate. That's where you're going to see the multiple versions. That's where I think we're going to see the large amount of different characters showing up. That's where I think the big pop is going to be, to really announce where the direction is going, which all the rest of us believe it's Secret Wars. Which I think if they go Secret Wars, in my eyes, is really the only proper way to go next. But I mean, Universal or Marvel's surprised us before.
Yeah, with the multiverse, there's so many. Because after that, they already started filming the new Spider-Man, and that's supposed to come after.
Well, Tom Holland's supposed to make an appearance in Venom 2.
Yeah, and they're supposed to squeeze that in, but it's technically, I guess, not part of the.
It's
phases.
Not. Right. Spider-Verse is completely separate from the MCU, but they have that agreement with Sony that it really sits right on that line of the MCU. So you take the MCU the whole, and then you've got the Spider-Verse that kind of is that line that kind of goes askew off of it. You're still going to have Spider-Man. I think is going to. Tom Holland Spider-Man is definitely going to jump between both for a long time, but yeah, like I said, this news as far as HBO Max goes, I mean, I'm already looking into getting HBO Max myself. One, because it's not, you know, what's funny is I saw Wonder Woman. Maybe I got to go back and watch it again, to be honest with you. But I mean, I wasn't that impressed, but maybe I'm just craving some sort of superhero movie so bad that I'm willing to go watch a DC movie. I don't care.
And she's not too shabby to watch. I mean,
I think out of all the DC movies, to be honest with you, I think that's the most solid. That to me is really the most solid franchise they have.
for sure, the structure, storyline, it's really solid. With the other, with Superman and the storylines and the actors, they're just everything's all over the place.
Yeah, and I think that's what DC's failed to do for so long is sign. You know, Disney will always sign actors to multi-movie deals,
right?
And for some reason, DC has problems. Maybe because they've had their things with Batmans in the past, but they've had problems with signing multi-movie contracts to actors. And by not doing that, you can't keep any continuity.
Yeah, it just ends up being a new movie each time. Oh,
yeah, you feel like it's something new, and there's how is this bringing back together? Now we gotta get used to a new character, and stuff like that, and then of course now you got Superman. You got the guy who plays Superman who's back and forth. Every time we hear he's back in it, we hear that he's out of it again. Y'all make up your mind. I mean, I would say out of all the all the Supermans, I mean, aside from Christopher Reeves, which I believe was a fantastic Superman back in the day,
classic.
He's been the best Superman since Christopher Reeves, in my opinion.
Oh, for sure, and I'm down with all. The Superman movies were great, and the last one, when he died, they show that last scene with all the dirt rises off his grave. So
well, now I'm wondering too. Now, if since Wonder Woman's going to go on, are they going to put Snyder Cut on HBO Max? I mean, Snyder Cut's one that that's actually a DC movie I am really looking forward to watching. I mean, I was so disappointed in the Justice League when I watched it that it borderlined on the fact of pissing me off. It was so bad.
And see, now HBO's opening the gates, everybody's going to be watching.
And I think if Disney doesn't at least test the waters with putting Black Widow on Disney Plus, then I think everybody's going to be sitting back over this next year and watching what happens with HBO Max. If it becomes successful, if it is a successful run. Now, of course, Universal was the first one to test the platform when they put things like Trolls and stuff on video on demand. Incredibly successful. So we all know there is a market for people that would rather stay home and watch a movie than go to a theater. We know the market's there.
Oh, yeah. All day.
Now,
and then like you got mini Techbot.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get her and the other little one in the car and the whole thing, and
keeping a focus on a movie for 2 hours is difficult,
almost impossible. No, and then it ruins the whole experience. And they've hit gold. They know it. They know
that the direction, and I think that I hope that they bring us Black Widow. But here's the other thing too: is I just was recently reading just before the live that of course, since Disney bought Fox, of course they took on assets like Hulu, and they of course, even though they're both on the same umbrella, they've been running them as two different entities.
Yeah, for sure.
Keeping them separate, but there are now talks to eventually merge Hulu and Disney together, which I'm not opposed to either. I did the whole $12.99 for all the items and stuff like that. But I think you have a good opportunity. I think there are some good Hulu only TV shows out there that are pretty decent, worthwhile watching, stuff like that. To be honest with you, if Netflix didn't have things like Stranger Things, I probably wouldn't have Netflix anymore. But love Stranger Things way too much, and I know I want to see 4 come out.
Each format has their best series. And it's one of those, I got to have 5 subscriptions to 5 different things if I want to watch any of these.
Yeah.
So if they start combining,
it just makes it easy. A couple less apps on your phone, stuff like that. A couple of things to change. But yeah, like I said, I think the one thing I'm excited for is effective. Like we said, I think it's really going to make the theaters that are still here. And I still, to be honest, I mean, we know Regal's gone, and I think AMC is really not too far behind. But it's going to make these smaller theaters rethink their experience. And like I said, I would like to see a lot of them like the theater I go to out here. I mean, they've got that beer on tap where you just go and put a card up and you can sit out and pour your own beer. I mean, they've got a whole bunch of different experiences, and that's why I don't mind going to that theater and paying a little extra money. And they have the full menu, food pretty decent. I end up spending probably, I mean, with tickets and food, I probably spend close to $100.
Yeah, every time.
But I'm not hating it because, I can have my drink refilled all the time. I can, have food done, and I don't have to go anywhere. I can just press a button, they can come. So I think it's going to benefit the theaters that do continue to stay, because as far as the consumer goes, because it's going to give them a better experience.
Definitely. We have a theater here where they have, it's 4 theaters basically, attached, but one of them's the IMAX experience, and the other 3 are regular.
Mm-hmm.
Watch a regular one, okay, big screen, loud. You go over to the IMAX, the seats are a little wider, they recline, the full surround sound HD, and it was $5-8 more. Of course, you go watch the IMAX version, and that's where they're going to have to step it up.
Yeah, well, and that's why I used to be a constant AMC goer, because they have the AMC over at Disney Springs. I used to be a constant AMC, and then when this new place in, and every single seat is a recliner. And they instead of with AMC at Disney Springs, you got one side that's got food or like the full menu type thing, and the other side is just a regular theater experience. And I always want to go to the regular food side, but they had limited amount of showings. Again, I think everything is going to go to that extra mile. They're going to cater, because we all know the theaters do not make any money on the films themselves.
No,
without the food. So
bag of popcorn is $10.
I think one of the last times I did the standard AMC experience, I think a large popcorn and a large Coke was like $20 or more, $25 or something. It was ridiculous. I was like, really, for popcorn and a soda? And it's a fountain drink soda, so it's not like you're paying for the plastic or anything like that. It's a fountain drink, man.
Yeah, can I get some extra butter on that? Well, that'll be an extra $2.
Yeah, and I think for me, I think to a certain extent, like I said, don't think I'm hating on the theater experience by any means, but I'd say a certain extent, the theater did it to themselves.
Oh, for sure.
By charging ridiculous rates and stuff like that. I mean, we all happily did it because we all wanted to see the movies we want to see. But now,
we didn't have an option.
Now we have options. So, if I'm already paying for a service like HBO Max that's going to give me the newest movie, whether it's for 30 days or whether it's for the entire time, I don't care. You give me the opportunity. I'm happy, and I think that's why the video on demand was so popular, because I remember when Trolls came out, my kids were all for that. And it was a rental. So we had it for 3 days. And my kids watched that thing for 3 days. They got the rental fee out of it. So, I mean, I'm not really hating on that. I just think that Disney, if they do go that route and they put Disney, they got to rethink that extra service a little bit more. Because when they did that whole thing with Mulan, I don't think it was as successful. I think Mulan got screwed because of whatever controversy that had it with where they were filming.
Right, of course. Yeah,
but Yeah,
everybody have something to complain about, you know.
exactly.
Especially nowadays.
But the whole Premiere Access, I think it needs to be reworked, rethought a little bit. But I mean, to be honest, if they told me tomorrow that Black Widow was going to be on Premiere Access and it was going to cost me $30, I'd say shut up and take my money.
Yeah, for sure. And then after it's over, I'll cut and wait for you to resign.
And that's the thing. That's where they're going to keep it. I mean, by HBO already saying, "Hey, we're going to put all these big name movies out next year." You're going to go, okay, well, I might as well just keep paying for it every month. Getting this. Might as well. I mean, and then they get some good shows. I mean, I know a lot of people jumped ship from HBO and Game of Thrones killed everybody. Right. I never jumped on because I wasn't a huge Game of Thrones fan to begin with. I had diehard Game of Thrones friends, and everyone kept, "Oh, you got to watch Game of Thrones. You got to watch Game of Thrones." And to be honest with you, I watched the first episode twice, and I fell asleep both times. I said, you know what? If your first episode can't keep my attention, then I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just not.
That's why I was told by a good friend of mine, just skip the first 2 seasons, because if you don't, you'll never watch the rest.
Maybe that was my problem. There was and then when I tell my friends, they're like, "Oh yeah, that first episode was kind of slow." I'm like, "Yeah, but isn't that the details from that first episode? Come on, man." I don't know. I never got into it much. I didn't care for it, and it just wasn't my thing. It had a huge following, so obviously it was some people's thing. But I was the same way with The Walking Dead. I watched the first season, and then I was just like, eh.
Yeah, I almost gave up when they hit the farm. I was almost out. But
like you said, I watched the whole first season, and then I was just like, I'm not really. It's not like when Stranger Things ended. Each season you're like, oh man, I got to see what happened. Especially this one. When it's like, dude, Hopper is still alive.
For sure.
And it's like, oh shit, I need to see what's going to happen. Or even like how they ended Mandalorian last year. It's like, shit, I got to find out what the fuck happened. I mean, he's still got this child, or now it's got a damn name, which I think they could have picked a better name for the child. Grogu. I don't know. Grogu. It's like, come on, really, you guys? And of all those weird Yoda possible names, you come up with Grogu.
Somebody asked their kid, somebody important said, "Hey, you get to name Baby Yoda."
Grogu. I don't know. I don't. I just. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It doesn't. I mean, he doesn't even look like Grogu to begin with. At least with Yoda, you can kind of look at the name and go, "Huh, okay, I get it. I get it. I understand. It makes sense." Grogu.
They had to put 2 syllables. Groot. Nice, simple, one word.
I'm still honestly waiting to find out that the child is actually a clone of Yoda. Personally, I'm still waiting.
Yeah. I'm still serious. Here we go.
That's my theory. Is where it's gonna go. I know we got to hit this chat a little bit. We got Chris from Kano Collectibles in here. We had K Titus from my buddy from Japan. We have where's K just Kano just says I haven't started season 2 yet. I know it. And again, they've because of Disney and Mandalorian, that changed the whole game to begin with, because you had a lot of times seasons would come out and they just dumped the entire season in one shot. And Disney and Apple both did the same thing. I said, nah, we ain't gonna do that. We're gonna do 1 episode a week, just like you would in the TV shows or something like that. And we're gonna drag you for it, which I was not actually opposed to. I was actually like, you know what? I kind of like you going backwards a little bit and going old school.
And we got spoiled.
Yeah, I think we got spoiled, to be honest with you. And so I wasn't opposed to that. I was actually for it. But And of course, you can see that afterwards, and and then I started noticing that Amazon Prime did it with The Boys.
Yeah, the first season of The Boys, they just
they dumped it. Yeah,
yeah. Then the second one, they said, "Nah, we're gonna switch it up this time." And
I know because I binged the first season within like a day or two.
And then you're mad because you're like, now what do I watch? I've watched everything.
And you're like, oh,
nothing to look forward to.
I think that's why I like them spreading out, because at least you can have a time frame that you're like going, okay, I know I got to catch up with this and stuff like that. And, you have to worry about, and I've had that time where I've had a lot of time and it's like I binge it and I was just like, shit, now I got to find something else to watch. What the hell?
Now, WandaVision's supposed to start right around after Mandalorian.
20th.
Yeah. So let's see.
I'm so excited for that. Maybe just because I need Marvel, stuff like that. But I'm excited to see the direction they're going with this. I think it's a great direction going into Wanda's mind. Whether it is Wanda's mind, we don't know. I mean, that's always a possibility.
Vision's got a,
Well, Vision's technically dead, but this could be where they set it back, because this also could be placed, and this is what we don't know. This could be placed in that time frame after Civil War. Remember when we went to the beginning of Infinity Wars and her and Vision were on a run together? So technically, she could be feeding these brain waves into Vision during that time frame. We don't know.
It could be the split second when his crystal crushes.
Yeah.
Poof. Your life flashes before your eyes type of thing. There's so many possibilities. All that time squished into, 2 seconds.
Yeah, that brings another good question, though. And I never thought about it till right now. We always said, what happened to Natasha when Cap put the stone back, right? But what happened to Vision?
Yeah.
I never thought about it till right now. I mean, if you really think about it, Thanos took the stone out of Vision's head, used it in the thing, but they had to go back in time to get that stone. So it was never in Vision when they got it. So that means they put it back, and when Cap went back, supposedly he put it back in the same place. So then technically Vision. Yeah. No, but see, it's really weird, because then technically they're not saying that the events of the dusting still took place.
Yeah, it still took place.
So that would still put Vision as still dead.
Finito.
The only real character that's in question is Natasha, because in order to get the soul stone, a person has to put their soul into the stone. But what happens when you put the stone back? Yeah, does the soul get released? That's the question.
See, I love it. See, you only get this on Techbot After Dark. See,
I mean, and maybe that's something they're going to wait for the What If series. What if back and Natasha lived?
But we're getting Marvel Zombies, and I'm freaking out.
Oh yeah, but I think there is a secondary reason for not only bringing out the Black Widow movie in Phase 4 after all this, and setting it as a before all the events happen, because it's before. I think that the big honest reason for the whole movie is to introduce her sister, because I think her sister is what is going to come later on.
Right, ties into the Immortals
team. So that way you're going to still have a Black Widow-esque type character, but of course, I think they're leaving Natasha as dead. I think.
Yeah, she had to get the stone. She's gone.
I think you have to. I think at this point, one, there's too many questions, and two, I think you have to leave Natasha dead. But I think the main reason for this was to really introduce her sister in this, and maybe also later on answer why her sister wasn't in the battle. Maybe Natasha told her not to be part of the original battle just in case of whatever she wanted to have her leave. Who knows? But there's a lot of possibilities. But I think that is, to me, from a couple articles I've recently read, is that is the sole reason. Well, not the sole reason, but that is a key reason of bringing, introducing you to her family and giving her own solo film, was to introduce another character. Because, of course, I don't think they're going to bring Red Guardian. Red Guardian is not going to go past this movie. Because, again, it's set in the past, stuff like that. Like I said, I don't think that you're going to see Red Guardian go best. I think it's cool that they're bringing the Red Guardian back, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're setting for the New Mutants, setting that all up.
I still got to see that movie. I heard it's fantastic, though.
I dug it. I really dug it. A lot of people are hating on it already, of course, but
I heard, like I said, I've heard mixed things.
It was really good. It was really good.
From some true Marvel fans that I know of, everybody liked it. Because, again, they didn't go into this thinking this is an X-Men movie. It's not an X-Men movie.
No. And it was nice and dark. And
it was supposed to verge on the dark side of Marvel, or it was Sony at the time who put it together. But from what I heard, it took so long because they had to keep refilming.
It was right when everything was breaking loose.
Yeah, but they had to keep refilming because apparently, some test viewings didn't post well in some scenes or something like that. So they had to go back and keep refilming stuff. It's crazy. But I like I said, I'm going into it. If from what I'm told, if you go into it knowing it's a horror-esque type of movie, that it is not an X-Men movie. Yes, got mutants in the name of it, but it's not. It's not a X-Men movie. You're gonna enjoy it.
It's not the norm, and that's what made it really good too. It's not the normal characters that you're used to. So it just turns you on to a bigger world. That there's a lot more characters that they're bringing that people are not expecting.
Well, I think of course, I told it to Comic Book Poser last week, and he was blown away. But of course, it's I think a month or two ago, there was some set photos from Falcon Winter Soldier that came up, and of course they were quickly taken down. But we're having the very possible introduction of Omega Red into Falcon Winter Soldier, and I misspoke the other day. I think in Wayne's live the other day, I said, "Oh, did anyone see the new Falcon Winter Soldier trailer?" And I was off. It was actually I went back and watched it another 5 times and realized that it was actually the one that released in October. So we haven't gotten a second trailer for it, but. And what I think, and I watched it a couple of times, and I don't think what people realize is that scene where it shows like a Captain America jumping over the bales. That's not Falcon.
That's just got to be like a flashback or something.
Well, no. Well, I think there was supposed to be, in the way I think it's supposed to go, is you're going to see another Cap. They basically re-recruited another Cap. Maybe they made him a super soldier. I don't know. But, Falcon didn't feel that he deserved the shield right away. He had to earn it. He's a soldier. He knows he has to earn that before he gets it. And I think that's where it comes in. The biggest thing that keeps wrapping my brain around that trailer is that opening scene where Bucky is talking to that older gentleman. But for some reason, I've watched that trailer like 10 times. And I can't remember where the hell he comes from in that trailers. And I know that's a key.
See, now you got me curious. I'm going to go back and study it.
Well, because we know, you can tell from some points, Bucky's investigating, his history with the being brainwashed and stuff like that.
Right.
And we know at some point that what's his name from Ultron is going to be in it, Zeno. We know he's going to be the main villain. So Zeno wanted to control him. He knows the words
Yeah, he
to
knows to turn him on.
turn him on. So
Yeah.
is he going to try to turn him on or not? We know that, of course, when he went to Wakanda, they tried to get that out of his head, stuff like that. But like I said, I think that's a key, and I'm still trying to research who that character is. Like I said, I want to say that we've seen him somewhere before, but I just can't remember at the moment. I don't know. It's hard to say. There's so many possibilities. And what's funny is when you overlook into trailers, especially Marvel trailers, you can read into them, but you are never going to be right. I remember when Infinity Wars and Endgame was coming out. Man, I was a big one of going to these YouTube channels, and they're analyzing the trailers, and could we have this? Could we have that? And then later on, we find out after the movies come out that the Russo brothers were releasing fake trailers. They had shit in their trailers that was never going to be in the freaking movie.
On purpose.
They did on purpose, just so you could focus on this stuff that's not even going to be in the movie. And be surprised. I mean, I'm to be honest with you, it's a genius move.
Yeah, and they were pushing so hard. Please don't spoil the movie for others. They just kept saying it over and over. That's the world we live in now.
When they were doing the media circus for Endgame, that Benedict Cumberbatch was like assigned to Tom Holland, on every single interview to just shut him up, because we all know Tom Holland is one of the worst secret. And then I think Tony was assigned to Mark Ruffalo, the other, screwing of secrets. So, I mean, maybe Tom Holland's finally learned his lesson by now, but you never really know. I mean, the kid's a fantastic actor, and I think he's got a long career coming to him. And I don't think he's going to be one of those kids that's actors either that's going to be pigeonholed as only that character and ever that character.
The typecast. Nah.
Yeah, I really don't see him being typecast for that, because I think he's been doing some other movies, and he's been fantastic.
He's definitely one of the better, newer actors, I would say.
He's not a method actor by any means, but I think he really expresses, the feeling and stuff like that quite a bit. But it's real hard to say. But yeah, so that was my big thing today was I want to get your feeling on the the whole HBO Max deal. I mean, do you already have HBO Max?
Well, I kind of have the Fire Stick, which has that's a whole other show. Cody with everything. Pretty much yes.
I did that at one point. It was too much to just keep up with on a constant basis. I was like, this. It's not worth
it. But now I got the smart TV in the room, and the wife's got all the subscriptions, and of course now that this is coming, she's I'm gonna have HBO, and I'm gonna go. But we have it for free in the living room, honey.
Well, I think to be honest with you, I think if you're gonna get HBO Max, now is the time to get it, because I think once next year comes out and they know they've got bigger titles coming out, I mean, there's a definite possibility that the price goes up, especially if they start seeing a mass, because they saw a mass amount of people jumping off of HBO. I think it was HBO Now back then.
Now.
Game of Thrones ended because everyone was pissed off at HBO that they killed everybody from Game of Thrones. So they all jumped ship, and now it's like, okay, well, now we got to bring everybody back. And I think now is going to be the time to get Max before they raise their rates. I mean, how much is HBO Max? I think it's like, what, $15 a month or something?
Yeah, and then they'll give you the, get it for a year deal. So it's like you save, I don't know, it's like 30-25% if you get it by the year.
Let's see, HBO Max. Right now it's $14.99 a month. Cancel anytime. That I think that's another reason. If you think about this whole, because really, I think the whole streaming services, to be honest with you, I think they're also going to be the death of cable television as we know it. I mean, A lot of people are still holding on to that, but I went off of cable television years ago.
Now everything's on demand. I kind of let everything go for the week. What's going on this week? I don't know. I'm watching last week's stuff.
And
different
shows.
I mean, Mandalorian, I got to watch.
Yeah. But I still like the fact of having, I'd still like the fact of having, local stuff and things like that. And there's multiple ways you can do that, but I in our household, I use, what do we use? We use YouTube TV.
YouTube TV.
I pay for YouTube TV, so it gives me all my local channels. I got to see the Patriots game last weekend because it was on the TV. So, that's what we use for a lot of our stuff. And then, of course, a lot of times if you have something like YouTube TV, all these other channels, you can use their on-demand services. Right. So you always got that. But the one thing I like about it compared to, when you used to have cable back in the day was that you can cancel these anytime you want. You don't like the service, you cancel it. I've had PlayStation View. I've had what was the other one I had? I can't remember. There's another one I had, and I'm now on YouTube TV. And the other one was they had it at one point was
think of the Xbox.
No, it was a satellite company. Whose was the satellite? You got Dish Network and DirecTV Now. And then they turned it into something else, and it just got stupid because they started, they were losing. That was when everyone was thinking that all these streaming services were going to go away because some of these streaming services were losing, like these networks and stuff like that.
Yeah. They're no longer carrying NBC.
Yeah, it's like but they said, oh well, your contract has you grandfathered in, so we're going to let you keep it, but we're going to have to charge you a little bit more because it costs us a little bit. It's like. At first, I was like, okay, no problem. And then, like, after three price hikes after that, I'm like, all right, you're done. Cancel. I'm not in a contract. I can cancel anytime I want. It's all, and then that's what I like about them is you can cancel it anytime you want. It's great. You can pick and choose the services you want. And I think the days of having cable where great, I've got 125 channels I can watch, and now I've got 125 channels of shit.
Just complete crap. And I got to wade through all the commercials while I watch the shit.
I mean, remember, the only thing that was worse was back in the day when you had cable and you didn't have the guide and you're just sitting there clicking straight through. I mean, unless you had TV guide back then, but you'd click straight through and go, damn, this sucks. Well, I got to go around the horn again because some of those channels were on commercial. So let me go back and check those. I mean, that was the only thing that was worth about it. I mean, at least now you can watch what you want to watch and go from there. So,
I really love the new move because normally you'd get maybe 3 movies a year. Now, now they're just going to just be dumping them in our laps, and we just get to gobble them all up from our living rooms.
I think to be honest with you, I know a lot of people see this as a bad thing, but I think a lot of people that also claim this to be a bad thing with HBO Max is also the people that don't like change. And just like I had an old manager of mine used to tell me the only constant in life is change.
I like that. That's good because seriously, because a lot of people are just used to that. Hey, that's our tradition. Every Thanksgiving we go to the theater. Well, you don't have to change the tradition. No. I see a movie at home that I've never seen in the theater after it comes out, and I go, man, I wish I would have saw that in the theater.
Yeah, that days, especially if you have it on HBO Max and it came out the same time they came out in the theaters, and you go, oh, well, I'm at home, I'll go ahead and watch it. So those days of the water cooler talk at work. Oh, did you see this movie? Oh no, I wasn't too much into it. I'll just wait till it comes out on video.
Yeah.
The days of that is going to be done.
Done. Dunsky. Yeah.
Because if you think about it, the movie industries are getting their money back. That's why I think when the video on demand was so successful, because I'll pay $20. I mean, I would have paid $20 for me and my wife to go watch the movie anyways.
Oh yeah. Between the gas, the food, everything else, you're gonna save money.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a win-win. It's a win-win.
The only thing that a viewer is going to have to make the decision on is, do I think this movie is big enough to want to go to the theaters and get that experience? Because I mean, don't get me wrong, going to the movies has an experience.
It is. It
That you're
is.
not going to get in your home.
For sure. Sticky shoes, the smell, just the laughs, comedies in the theater, watching a comedy, a good comedy, Dumb and Dumber.
Oh yeah.
An old good comedy in the theater. If they're laughing, you're laughing. It was just an experience. It's just,
It's an experience. It's the big loudspeakers, the big screen in front of you, stuff like that. It's that experience you're going to have, and and there are going to be some movies out there that you're still going to want to go, maybe I want to spend. Maybe I wouldn't mind spending the money going to the theaters,
which is going to create a demand for it. You're going to see it at home and then go, man, it'd be great. And call up a friend. Hey, call your friend. Let's all go check this movie out in the theater. It's going to create.
Yeah. Oh, that's another aspect I didn't even think. Yeah, that's a great point. Maybe you see it on demand on TV. I mean, how many times, when Endgame came out, you heard of people going, man, I went back and watched that thing like 5 times in the theater.
Right.
Right. I mean, you can take a movie, say like New Mutants, for example, that came out. You could watch it at home, go, man, that was pretty good, but I bet you that thing would have been even better on the big screen with all the speakers and surround sound and everything like that. And then you're going to be able to sit and take your comparison, and stuff like that. But I think that's definitely going to be something worthwhile.
It's the only thing that's really going to save them.
Well, and as we heard, HBO is dwindling. Time Warner's having a hard time and stuff like that. So especially after Game of Thrones, everyone jumping off ship after Game of Thrones. I think this is a good opportunity to bring. This is going to bring people like me who never even considered HBO to the service.
Yeah, you're going to have it just to. Because if I don't get to see that, and I have to, let's say I didn't get HBO and I didn't catch all that, and then the next movie comes out, and then it's definitely going to go on HBO. You're going to be.
Well, I mean, just look, and then I did finally find something on here. Just look at this lineup of movies they're going to be bringing to this, and this is not just 6 movies, mind you. Of course, we got Wonder Woman 84 coming out, which I really think that's going to be a fantastic movie. I will probably actually have to go back and watch the first Wonder Woman again before I watch this one. But you got movies like Into the Heights, which I know a lot of people, if you were into Hamilton, you'll be into this one. You got Dune. You've got Suicide Squad.
Yes.
You got Godzilla versus Kong. You got The Many Saints of Newark. You've got The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. That's going to be fantastic. And that's one that you can go, do I want to go to the theaters? Do I want to just stay home? Maybe feel a little bit more comfortable at home? Who knows? Other big ones, Matrix 4, Mortal Kombat. I mean, those are just some of the, and you're going to be able to use, and you can use, and that's, I think, the only thing that HBO ever did great on was the fact that they began to put their service on everything. You can get this on Amazon Fire TV, you can get on Android TV, you can get on Apple TV, phone. You can get on Chromecast, you can get on iPad, you can get on iPhone, you can get on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Samsung Smart TV. It doesn't matter. You can get HBO.
Right. Anywhere, any place. Yeah. As long as you got internet, you're good.
And then that brings another. I mean, even if it's one of these things where you're like, oh, that sounded pretty cool. Hey, check it out on your phone. You're at work. Go watch it on your phone.
But it actually just popped in my mind. This is great. This is actually really great news for the men and women, that serve this country and are overseas and don't get to go to movie theaters. This is just going to open up a whole world of, the people that serve our country, and they get home, what do you mean Avengers movie? You know, I didn't get to see. I've been stationed in Japan. Okay, okay, guys. You know, I haven't
No,
got to see any of your movies.
I never put that together, but that is a great thought too. You know, they can get the service and they can get it on their phones and stuff like that, and you know, because you know they still got their time off just like we do.
Sure,
So
sure.
why not
Sure.
give it 10? And that's a great point. I never thought about that, and I think again this is going to open up a whole new world. And you know, I've been saying it for years that I think that I've always thought one streaming service was going to kill the cable company, and two, that movies were eventually going to just go straight to your house. I've been seeing it for years, and to be honest with you, I think the direction was always going there, but you know, the fact of COVID shutting down theaters, I mean, I don't wish companies to go bankrupt, you know, like Regal or something, and possibly AMC, but I think that this whole COVID situation just catapulted and forced this to happen sooner than it was meant to happen.
Yeah.
Again, I was always, I think in my mind, I think it was always going to happen. It was going to be on a 5-year plan.
Right, right. It was coming, and we all knew. It's just now it's early, so we get Christmas early, you know, and it's good because you know these times people need this. It's just like we need sports. That's why they were so hard on pushing the sports, because you know this is just bad time.
Right, and to be honest with you, I think you know at the beginning of the whole COVID time, I mean, if you really think about it, I mean that's I think only reason a shit show like Tiger King even became as popular as it was, because nobody had anything else to do, and it was a train wreck that you couldn't stop watching.
Yeah. And they were literally waving the flags. This is what you do, guys.
Yeah. Had it not been for COVID, do I think that series would have been a #1 on Netflix? No. But I think the fact that COVID was around and nobody had anything else to do, and somebody started going, well, let me check this thing out, and they you know binge watched it, and they said, you know, of course, then it became word of mouth. And that's how I heard it. Was word of mouth. Like, you got to check this thing out. And you know, I remember sitting there on the couch, and my wife and I, seriously, we don't binge movie shows very often. I mean, it's rare, but we could not stop. Every time one got done, we're like, oh, we should go do something. Yeah, but the next one's starting, so we might as well just watch this. We could not stop watching it. It was literally the train wreck, and it was bad. It was real bad.
I can't stop. Go past the wreck, but you just kind of.
Yeah, you don't want to be that rubbernecker, but you still can't help yourself to look and go, damn, you jacked yourself up.
Oh, man.
You know, it's just part of it. And
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm looking forward to all. I mean, there's so much good stuff coming. I can't take much more of them pushing stuff back. The Asian.
We're supposed to have Shang-Chi in May.
It's done. It's just sitting there.
We have 3 there. That puts almost 3 movies that's already filmed. I mean, Shang-Chi maybe needs some editing, possibly still on the editing floor. But Eternals is done because that was supposed to come out in November. You know, Black Widow, of course, is done. And it's like, come on, guys. And you know, at some point, they've got to have big money investors also going, come on, guys. We'd like to see some money back on this.
Yeah.
And then the one thing is like, really, why are you going to hold this off till May when, again, Regal's already went bankrupt. AMC's about to. And the only thing that could possibly save AMC, and it was brought up back in May, is possibility of Amazon buying AMC.
Oh, geez.
Which technically I'm not opposed to that either.
I like my Amazon. I do like my Amazon.
I'm an Amazon junkie, so I don't hate the idea. because really on opinion, I think Amazon would have pushed the route of video on demand anyways in the theater experience, because Amazon would have gone, okay, we'll give you the movie, kind of the same thing as this. We'll give this to you, but our theater experience is top notch as well.
Right.
I think they brought it to that.
Yeah, because as soon as COVID hit, that Trolls, boom, right. See it before it's in theaters, and it was right there on Amazon. And biggest day, they were one of the first to jump on it. I don't see why they wouldn't just follow suit.
Yeah, I think that was where it was going to go, and I know that at one point Amazon did give them an offer, and that CEO was a crazy ass and decided that no, always getting, and not like, to be honest with you, to say that they gave him an outrageous number. I mean, come on, this is Amazon. I don't think anything's an outrageous number when it comes to Amazon, to be honest with you.
No.
It's not. You know, really, I would think they would incorporate AMC into Prime Video.
They can print their own money.
Yeah, and that's even the thing you got to think about. I mean, I know there's a lot of people that are against Amazon, against Facebook, stuff like that, and there's all these court things going about being monopolizing stuff and things like that. And it's like, why aren't any of you guys asking the consumers out here? I don't want Amazon broken up. I want it all in one place so I can get my shit when I want it. And I've got an Amazon facility, so there's a lot of times I get it the same damn day I order it.
Oh, that's my favorite. Order within 30 minutes. Have it there today.
Yeah. I am an Amazon junkie. Don't get it twisted. I love Amazon.
Free shipping.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think the greatest move Amazon ever did was starting the Prime service with 2-day shipping, because I think that was always the problem with ordering online, was the shipping costs.
Shipping cost and waiting 1 to 2 weeks
where you didn't have to worry about that, and you get it quickly.
And you can click on their site and track it immediately. I mean, just so many benefits.
I mean, I hooked up. I even got it to where now, because you still get things like Porch Pirates and stuff like that. I don't have it. I haven't put it in my garage. I've got a smart garage, and I've got a camera inside the garage. So I see them put it right in the front there, and then they close the garage back up and they leave.
They used to. I remember they were pushing a while back. I don't know if they still do it, where they would literally, you could give them permission to open your door and set it inside your house and shut the door.
I think they went off of that and they went with the garage aspect. I think people were still creeped out about Amazon walking into your front door, but I think with your garage, because you usually knew that your garage door was locked either way. So I think people were more comfortable with that, and I was comfortable with it because, like I said, I at least got the camera still right there too. So I see the thing.
Ding. Oh,
but but to me, that's a peace of mind, because I don't have to worry about my packages sitting outside or worry about some. I mean, especially in today's age, there could be a whole lot more Porch Pirates nowadays. I mean,
and they're out there it's constantly, because I don't know if you got Ring. I got the Ring thing, but we get the updates where 2 blocks over, so walking in the driveway. So they're out there.
It's also because of that is why, like, and of course I don't at Techbot After Dark can go anywhere we want with this, but that's why I've always told people that even looking at some, I don't even like looking at some of that stuff sometimes, because you look at it, that was 2 blocks over from where I live. What the hell? And then that's why, and don't get this twisted. I want to know, but I don't want to know at the same time. I remember, was it back in early 2000s, they had those websites that showed you where all the predators were.
Yeah, all the dots.
I never went to one, because I was like, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to walk down my street and go, oh crap, or something like. I don't want. Dane Cook put it the greatest way. I don't want my computer to have chicken pox. All over the place.
Giving all your neighbors the stank guy.
I don't know
You?
what your situation
I
is.
can't remember.
I don't
Maybe
know
it's
why
the
you're
house
on
next
that
door.
list, but to a certain extent, I don't want to know. I watch my kids closely enough that I know that they're fine.
No need. Oh man. Jeez.
I mean, we don't let our kids go out in the front yard or the backyard without one of us there, just to make sure. But yeah, it's like I never want to go because it's like, you know what, then you're going to look at your whole neighborhood and everybody in your neighborhood a completely different way, and it's just like, again, there's reasons for everything, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And I'm not one to judge. That's your life, that's your business, and that's what you want to do. I get it. There's some people out there that want to know every little thing about that. We kind of pick on my oldest about that because her room's right in the front, so she kind of sees everything. She will sit there and look out her window sometimes and be like, "Oh, they're doing." I'm like, "Why you got to be the watcher of the neighborhood?" It's like, "What am I going to get binoculars for Christmas?" She's like that. She's like that old lady in the neighborhood that sits out there and watches at the windows all day long.
That's good though. Hey, I seen a strange car go by 3 times. I don't know that car.
I saw it so many times. Like, oh, you see them? I'm like, Lily, stop. They're okay.
Jeez.
She's a good kid though. She's real good. But yeah, it's funny. But yeah, like I said, I think it'll be a lot better with a lot of things. And like I said, I think the biggest problem people have nowadays is whether they trust technology. I think is a factor. And then I think the older and older I get, I realize there's more and more people that do not like change.
Yeah, I've been actually running into that quite a bit. A couple of my friends, and I try to show them some stuff my friend calls me the other day. Hey, can you help me out with my phone? I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, I can't get. He's saying something about his screen. Yeah, come over. He had his phone all screwed up. He had multiple screens going. Couldn't figure it out. Give me that. And took 2 seconds. Hand it back to him, and how'd you do that? I don't like phones. I wish I never got this phone. I'm like,
but on the other side, you're on it probably all the time. That's why it's screwed up. And if you actually took that phone away, you would be freaking lost.
Right. It's the same guy that doesn't want to get Alexa because he thinks it's spying on him, but yet has a smartphone, and we all know it's listening because I could talk about Gatorade for 20 minutes and it'll pop into my Facebook feed.
Yeah, that was always the dumbest thing I ever heard. Was the Alexa thing is spying on us to the CIA. It's like, seriously, people, if you know anything about computer coding and stuff like that, this is an artificial intelligence. Yes, I'm sure Amazon to a certain extent is listening, but a lot of times, I mean, yeah, maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm being 100% naive, but I've done computer programming and stuff before. A lot of times, in order to build an AI, you got to be able to figure out what it is that everybody's doing that you want to make it better. And I'm sure there are some reports that go back to Apple or back to Amazon to tell it. And have you seen Alexa become smarter over the years? Sure. I think that's partially because she does listen to a certain extent, but it doesn't mean you can't turn that thing off.
No.
Shut up, Alexa.
I started naming all. I have one in every room in my house, and I had to name them all different things because you say it once, and then they all start answering from different rooms.
I met a guy once that was his wife's name.
Oh, man.
I'm like, that's so messed up. So he had to go through and change the keywords to every single one he had. I was like, that's messed up.
That's great.
I'm like, what's the chances of that? I don't know.
I love my Amazon. I love my Alexa. I don't get bell notifications when the regular post guy drops off a box. Amazon immediately your package has been delivered.
Well, and you can also tell which service you do, because a lot of times if it's one of those because of course they got the normal mail guys that deliver Amazon. They've got the guys that paid that $500,000 to get that packaging servicing with Amazon, and then you've also got the flex drivers, who you can tell who the flex drivers is because they're required to take a picture in front of your door.
Boom.
So exactly where it's going to be when you get there.
Yeah.
Or then you get people like me who I've got it linked to my garage. So I get a camera right outside the front of my garage, and I've got one inside my garage. So I get two cameras that ding that tell me every time when I get somebody that does it.
I actually got that last year where your package was delivered with the picture. Wasn't my porch.
Oh.
Immediately he was like, wait, that's not my porch, And they were right on it. And immediately, it couldn't have been 2 hours later, there's my package showing up. He went back and got it. But
then I think Amazon was even genius when it came to those lockers.
I see them at the mall all the time.
Everywhere and stuff like that. I thought that was genius. There's been a couple of times I found that I could get it faster if they send it to a locker, and it wasn't that. I have a 7-Eleven down the road. I can go pick it up over there. Or like you got to return something. I don't got to worry about getting it to the post office. I can they'll tell me which lock. They'll say, hey, go to this box. You scan it. You're done.
Now they got us doing it at Kohl's. You can return your Amazon packages at Kohl's. Or that's great for like if you're out of town and you're at a hotel and
same thing.
Have an Amazon sent to the hotel. I'll just have it sent to the box right down the road. Boom.
Yeah, that's an awesome service, and that makes it so you can use Amazon still anytime you want. To me, like I said, Jeff Bezos. I have never worked for Amazon. I can't speak for what it's like to work for Amazon. I can only speak for my consumer side of Amazon, and I'm 100% satisfied. I'm satisfied with Amazon Prime. I'm satisfied with Prime Video. I'm satisfied with I even do. I'm probably still going to get it pretty soon. But like I do audiobooks too. I've done audiobooks with Prime, and I've listened to Ready Player One on there. Ready Player Two
in a couple
there pretty soon.
I stuck in a couple comics.
Oh yeah, they got the comic side too.
Comics. Yeah,
I mean, mind you, that's where I draw the line. Sometimes I know everyone went digital on books, comics. I still feel that you got to have that. But don't kid yourself. I've still read some comics digitally.
Yeah. I can't get my hands on it. And I don't want to wait. I'm downloading it, and I'll get the copy for the collection later.
Yeah, I like. There's a difference between, especially the newer comics that are out, and I like a lot of times when I go to comic book shop, I like to go to the boxes and look through the boxes.
Yeah, the pick and pulls.
And I love to find the 1970s, the 1980s, or older comics, because that browner paper that they use in there, there was a different feel to it. I mean, mind you, the artistry with the glossy pages on the newer comic books is fantastic. But there's a smell to those old comic pages. Plus, the ads on there are just hysterical.
Yeah, those are always the best.
Especially with the 80s and 90s, and you look and I go, damn, I remember getting one of those. I remember these being in magazines and comics back then. I mean, it brings back that
25 cents.
Oh yeah. You realize how cheap things were back then. We're like, what was going on here? You had to order. You had the 1-900 number that you had to call and order it to, because we didn't have internet back then. So you had to do everything by phone. And mind you, that wasn't cell phone. That was a phone that had a wire that you didn't have caller ID and shit on back then. Or you had the rotary run that you're like, it just took forever just to dial a damn number.
You messed up one number, start over.
Yeah. You couldn't just block a number or whatnot back then. And like I said, you had to pick up, and you had to memorize phone numbers.
Yeah. Pull out black book.
Yeah. Nowadays, I guarantee, and I know many people do this, but if I had a landline, I would probably never memorize my own landline. It'd be in my phone, but like, hold on, let me go get that for you. I mean, back
I don't call myself.
If I think of it back then, you always knew your own phone number. You always knew all your friends' phone numbers and stuff like that. It was astonishing how many phone numbers you could remember in your mind.
Yeah. No.
Now you can't remember. You can barely remember your cell phone number.
Hey, what's your number? Oh yeah, it's yes, I
programmed it in my phone. Let me just share my contact.
Yeah, I'll just tell me your number and I'll send you.
Zach said 1-900 Techbot after dark. Yeah. Do they even have 900 numbers anymore?
They got to. They'll never die.
I mean, and 1-800 and 1-900 numbers. I mean, honestly, who if you are dialing 1-900 numbers, even the sleaziest of 1-900 numbers, there is something seriously wrong with you. I mean, mind you, there's something seriously wrong with you to pay 1-900 rates on even something sleazy to begin with, because it was always like you go and you're really just talking to somebody, which is probably completely opposite from what they sound like in real life, and then on top of it, you got a phone bill now of $100, and back then $100 phone bill was like, what the hell?
And you talked to Bob, who said his name was Susie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you're hired. You got a feminine voice.
Oh man.
I never understood that. That was one thing even back then. I never understood the really. You got to be that desperate to go that far to sit on a phone line and pay $5 a minute. What the hell is wrong with you? If you're going to sit there on a phone and pay $5 a minute, let me come over and smack you around for $5 a minute, and you'll probably get the same amount. That makes no sense. Never did.
Oh man. The party line. Get in on the party line. There's 10 of us.
Yeah. But I mean, look at that in reality. I mean, if you think back, I always tell my wife and I will say, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and to me, that was the last great generation because we knew what it was like not to be digital. We knew. I mean, hell, I remember being a kid and having that TV where you had to turn the dial. There were no remotes. You were the remote.
Yeah. I was the remote.
And then not only are you turning the dial, but you're also holding an antenna wrapped in tinfoil with the other arm. And then if you wanted to see, you kind of had to lean around the side of the TV because you had to stand there.
You're dead. No, left. Now don't move.
Yeah, don't move. I'll tell you what happens. But like I said, to me that was the last great generation. We get the phones. We still knew the landlines, stuff like that. We didn't have really internet back. No. The internet existed back then, but nobody really used the internet. It was not even what it is today. And I think my earliest memory of actually being able to use the internet was AOL, 56K dial-up, and you knew exactly when you were online because of that stupid ass annoying sound that those 56K modems made. and then you listen to it and you hear all of a sudden you hear a different noise. You're like, oh shit, that's not the sound it should be making.
Oh man. No.
But just in 25 years, we're going from that point, of
jump.
Cell phones being a brick to we're getting movies sent direct to our home.
The iPhone compared to the old Nokia. That's like
Snake. Sitting there on Nokia playing Snake. That was the greatest game ever invented.
Oh man. Hours.
and mind you, and I know nowadays kids are getting cell phones young. I mean, I remember the first cell phone I have. I was a senior in high school, and we really, even then, we had it. We didn't really even know what to do with them back then. We just had them because we had them. And really, the earliest time I can remember even constantly using a cell phone was the first big job I ever had, and that was in San Jose, California, where we, we were like servicing company cars for Hewlett Packard out there, and they gave us a Nokia, the blue Nokia that everybody had, and like I said, we literally spent half of our time sitting there playing Snake.
Just mad.
Stupid little line going back to where if you show Snake to kids nowadays, they'd be like, "You guys, what you get? What's wrong with you guys?"
Yeah. What is it? Now they got virtual reality, and it's
oh yeah.
And the technology jump from then to now is
yeah. You've got mail.
You got mail.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure this is Mrs. Kingdom.
Yeah, Mrs. Kingdom. She remembers. You've got mail.
Yeah, that was everybody. If you heard that, you're like, yep. But that was the only way we ever knew we had email.
Oh man!
But I mean, that's the earliest I can remember. I mean, then after that, I always remember having some sort of cell phone and stuff like that. I mean, I remember when the iPhone first came out. I mean, it was like, I was against it. I was like, Apple's putting out a phone. What the hell? And then when I started seeing people were watching, videos and stuff on their phone, I'm like, I got this flip phone.
I have to get that. Yeah.
I have to get
they were the monopoly for a while, where they had the lock.
They had the lock. AT&T had the lock. Where I switched to I left my phone carrier just to go to AT&T so I could get a damn iPhone.
Yeah, they just man. And I'm due for an upgrade already, and it's about 2 years old.
I'm one of those crazy guys. I haven't done it yet, but I'm one of those crazy guys with Apple because I'm an Apple junkie now, and I get the new one every single year. I haven't done it yet, just because the holidays came up real quick, snuck up on me and stuff like that. So probably in the beginning of next year. But yeah, I'm and even when the people are like, oh, there's not much to change, dude. That chip they put in that new iPhone is ridiculous. You have no
idea. My guitar player came over, and I'm shooting video, and we're jamming, and we watched it back, and it was He's like, I'll use my phone. We go in there. Oh, unbelievable! The audio, the quality of the video.
Chris.
I was so jealous. Like, that's not even fair.
That now with the new camera, the night mode, like the days of having these dark videos and stuff like that is done. With that new camera they got on there, it's ridiculous. It's fantastic.
All the eyeballs.
Yeah. All the little weird eyeballs are everywhere. It's tracking it. But you think about it, in 1995, back when you like I said, the Nokia was the biggest thing. Hell, I remember the Nokia Razr was the biggest phone ever, and that was the shit back then. And that really, you think about it, that was only 25 years ago.
That's not long ago.
Maybe I'm aging myself here, but that doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
Me too. Breaking out my BlackBerry. Look out! I got a full keyboard.
And BlackBerries was the shit back then because they were the only one that had, and even some of them had even, you had one key for 2 letters. You're like, oh wow, that's a new technology right there. When they came with full keyboards on a phone, you're like, holy shit.
We're aging ourselves. We're breaking out pagers and writing upside down messages.
I remember numbers. I remember having a pager, and I remember, and it was one that never really took off very much. But then I had that pager that had the flip up screen, and where you could actually, and it had a full keyboard, but really you're trying to nail type on this little dinky little keyboard. But that was the greatest technology ever.
And you're happy to have it too. You know?
Oh, we were happy when we had pagers and we could figure out how to spell words with it in numbers.
Not now. You give them a fire tablet and they're saying an iPad. I don't want that. What?
I think that's why sometimes, like, I'm still attracted to old school 80s and 90s movies. You know, I think that's why I liked Ready Player One so much, because it had all that 80s pop culture in it.
Yeah.
Even I found the book had so much more in there. I just think that the movie didn't get all the licensing, but there was more pop culture in the book than there was in the movie. But you know, I found it because it's like, you remember that. I mean, you know, even him using the DeLorean in there. I mean, my friend just took a picture that he was going to work and had somebody driving a DeLorean all souped up like the time machine. I said, dude, that's my dream car right there. I don't need a Porsche. I want a DeLorean souped up like the time machine. I will cruise around in that every single day and be happy.
Right.
Put a Mr. Fusion on the back. I'm good to go.
Right. The pop-up doors. Ah, come on, man.
And granted, I know the DeLorean's engine is shit. Everybody knows the DeLorean's engine is shit.
I'm not looking to race anyone.
I'm not looking to race anyone. I want it to look like the damn time machine. As long as it can reach 88 miles per hour, I'm all set.
I actually just watched Deuce Bigelow last night because I wanted it to blast. That's me. I'm always watching like old 90s, 80s movies.
Yeah.
I even hit what was it, Porky's on Saturday.
I remember that. That's back into the 70s. That was 70s. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big. You know, it's funny. My wife will catch me from time to time. I mean, I'll watch The Breakfast Club. I don't care. I love John Hughes movies. I love John Hughes movies. Anything John Hughes back in the day was great. And like I said, I can watch Back to the Future over and over again. Even movies that were set back in that time. Like there was a movie that I don't know why I like it so much, but called Take Me Home Tonight. But it was based in the 80s. It was with Topher Grace. Great. I love it. I can watch 100 times over and still enjoy it. You know, even though I know exactly what's going to happen, I still enjoy it. Breakfast Club, same way. I mean, Breakfast Club to me is classic.
See, I can't say all of it without everybody will start making fun of them. Like, you were like Clueless? Yeah, I like Clueless. It was great. Dude,
it's been years, and I ended up finding that thing on Amazon Prime one day, and I think it was after one of the lives, and I put it on, and my wife came home. She goes, "What are you watching?" I said, "Clueless." She goes, "Really?" And what's funny is, you know, these were all a bunch of rich kids in this school, and you know, you can really see where the 90s technology was back then by watching just that movie alone, because you know, they had the pagers and all kinds of stuff. And it's like, damn, was that were you like that as a kid? Damn, that was a shit back then. Everybody watched Clueless.
Everybody. He's driving a portable LeBaron.
Yeah. You know, yeah. I mean, especially a LeBaron. We actually thought the LeBarons were cool back then. What are we? I mean, we're friggin' crazy now.
Oh man.
Now we're looking and go, shit. Hell, the Gremlins. I remember still seeing movies with the Gremlin. Back then, we were like, oh crap, those things were everywhere.
Oh man. I was arguing with my friend the other day because I was saying Gremlins was a Christmas movie. He's like, no, it's a horror movie. I'm like, no, it's a Christmas movie. It's not a horror movie. What do you think? What do you think? Is it Christmas?
Gremlins, I would put I would put Gremlins in a Christmas category only because I have this argument with my family every single year.
Die Hard, right?
Yes, and I watched it the other day, and my sister-in-law says it's a Christmas movie, and you know, because we were doing our Thanksgiving with my sister and stuff, and her girlfriend came over and she's like, this is a Christmas movie. I'm like, hey, I put on a Christmas movie. And of course, the rest of my family's like, that is not a Christmas movie. We're sitting there's a Santa Claus, there's a Christmas tree. Just because we launched the Christmas tree out of the goddamn building at the end, it still makes it a goddamn Christmas movie. He had a Christmas present. He had a Christmas present waiting in the limo for his daughter. And it was a happy ending. It's a Christmas movie.
Have you seen that? I know you've seen that. It's an ornament where it's just a little tinfoil box, and he's inside the box, like he's inside the air
inside the air vent.
Yeah. I got it. I'm just gonna print out a picture of him, and then I'm gonna make it out of tinfoil myself. Because once I saw that, I gotta have it for my Christmas.
But you're still, if you talk about Christmas movies, I mean. And it's probably one that I have to watch every single year. And it does, even then, the technology within that just dumbfounds me. Because especially once you see the TV sitting on the counter of Home Alone. You got to watch Home Alone. To me, that's a Christmas movie I have to watch every year. But yeah, when he wakes up that morning, he goes down to the kitchen, he turns on that TV, and the TV's got like this much length, behind him. And you're like, what the hell? And it basically takes up the entire goddamn counter. And he still has the screen about yay big.
Yeah, tiny little thing with giant TV. And he actually watches a black and white TV.
Yeah. And watches a black and white movie nonetheless. It's just like, wow. But I started thinking about this, and it's so weird. My wife brought up, she's like, it's so funny that a kid, that cute back then grows up to be goddamn ugly. Of Macaulay Culkin. I was like, you can't hate on Macaulay that much. I was like, give the guy some credit. He actually cleaned himself up finally over the past couple of years. Yeah, I mean, he was in a bad place for a long time, and but he's actually cleaned himself. But you got to think about that guy. Think about that guy. That movie comes out is probably played in many households every goddamn Christmas. That guy doesn't have to work a single day in his life because he gets royalties every single year. He probably gets enough royalties to last him the entire year. Every December. You got to think about it.
That's right. Yeah. Every month.
Yeah, possibly.
Every month.
I mean,
no doubt.
That's just like guys like Chevy Chase for Christmas Vacation. They probably don't have to do any more movies the rest of their life because they're just going to feed off. Macaulay Culkin's going to get royalties for Home Alone after he dies.
Hey, his great grandkids will be getting money.
People will still be watching that movie.
And he was the cutest icon with the slap. I mean, you got to give it up. I regardless of he's washed up actor, blah, blah, whatever. He was great.
I give it. I mean, it can't be that easy. One, having your parents as jacked up as they were for him, and then two, to a certain point of a child actor and thrust into that to a certain point, and then you got to grow up into the rest of the world. I mean, I get it. He went a little crazy. I mean, that's kind of like Shia LaBeouf did the same thing.
Frog Brothers. What's his name? Oh man.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Shia LaBeouf. I love Shia LaBeouf, and I'm happy that he's finally cleaned himself up and he's back to doing some true acting and stuff again. But same thing with Macaulay. But I've seen him do this one movie, and he was just like a side piece in the end of the movie and stuff like that. And he can pretty much do whatever he wants now. But he's cleaned himself up, and I thought you could tell when you could really tell he cleaned himself up. And a couple of years ago, they came up with a version almost like of Kevin McAllister growing up. I don't know if you've ever seen that. Yeah, you could probably still find it out on the internet. He would get in like an Uber or something like that, and he's all grown up. And he's talking about how much he's had mental issues because his mom left him all alone in the house, and he had to fight these people off. Oh, it's hilarious. And there's actually a series of it. There's a series of it where he ends up killing somebody and he's dancing around with blood all over him and stuff. It's done in a tasteful way where it's hilarious.
I'll hunt that down.
You actually absolutely have to look up like the new it's like New Age Home Alone or something like that. And that's back when he had the long hair before he cut it and stuff like that. Oh, it's hilarious. Absolutely hilarious.
Marilyn Manson. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, completely. Well, it was something where it was like someone was trying to rob him or something. And it's like all of a sudden he's like, I know how to take care of this. And it's like, the whole it's great. You have to watch it. If you guys haven't watched that, it I think it's like a 3-part series or something like that. It's absolutely hilarious. And and then it's funny. But I knew at that point, and then you follow him afterwards, you realize he was finally at a place in his life where he could make fun of that finally.
Right, you can look back and make fun of the Michael Jackson days. Hey, well, better way to get over tragedy, comedy. Is it a tragedy? Is it a comedy?
Who knows how much Michael Jackson had an effect on him? I mean, again, that's Jackson's personal life, and hopefully that was never true. I mean, who knows? But I don't take Jackson's singing career. I think he was still one of the greatest singers. Of course, of course, that was the news of the 90s.
Hey, being a child actor that famous, that quick.
Oh yeah,
Drew Barrymore.
And Drew Barrymore was the same way. The teens and early 20s, she suffered with a lot of problems, and then she finally cleaned herself up, became a hell of an actress, and she's still just one of the best actresses in Hollywood.
Yeah. Now she's got a talk show.
Does she have a talk show now?
Yeah. It's on in the afternoons. It's like an old, an Oprah show.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So it's like good for her,
Hey, let her do whatever she wants. I mean, she went from the ET years to what it is now. I mean,
Firestarter.
Oh, Firestarter. That's the classic one.
Yes.
But yeah, like she was. I mean, it's not just guys. I mean, she rebelled and all that other stuff growing up in the limelight. I mean, I gotta say, to a certain extent, for kid actors, that shit can't be easy, especially if you become, you're in a hit movie like an E.T. or like a Home Alone or something like that, and your world's turned upside down. Or you got a guy like Shia LaBeouf. I mean, he was a kid actor too, and his dad was. I mean, did you ever watch Honey Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was a hell of a movie.
It was great.
But I mean, to look back and go, you can see that and go, okay, I get it. Yeah, it makes sense the direction he went. Thankfully he found his way and he got put into the what do you call it, brain hospital or whatnot, where they but thankfully he got that and it didn't end up going down a completely different road for him. But like I said, I think he's a hell of an actor, and I would actually like to see Shia LaBeouf. I think Shia LaBeouf could play a hell of a villain in the MCU.
Oh, yeah, because he's an amazing actor. He could he could pull off.
Well, he's like what was his name? For some reason, it's evading me right now.
Phoenix?
No, the guy who did the Joker in the Chris Nolan movies. Heath Ledger. He's he's a method actor, like Heath was. And I think that's somewhat. I mean, he died from pill popping or whatever he was doing. But he, as far as his acting goes, he was a method actor. He stays in character. I remember reading stories about when he was in that Tank movie with Brad Pitt. Him and those guys, and the same guy that John Berthium that played the Punisher. Mm-hmm. He's kind of, to a certain point, a method actor too, and he really got into it. But he said that there was, for days, they stayed in the same outfits. They wanted to stay in character. He said one time, even in the hotel, they went out back and started digging holes and were sleeping in the holes. you know, he's like, he wanted to stay in character, and he's like, at some point, people were telling me, dude, Charlotte, you need to take a shower because he's stunk. And he's like, well, if you're here in war, you're not taking a shower.
I mean, trying to get into character.
Yeah. He's
Instead
a
of being
he's a complete actor to the T. And you know, to me that makes good comedic film. And you know, for him, I think what really hit him was, you know, Transformers was such a huge movie, huge series. And you know, he was still in his years, like his teenage to early 20 years at that point. And I think that just kind of hit somebody really fast. And he was a very artistic type of person. People just didn't understand his artistry in that. But it's good now because he's actually, I was watching a bunch of interviews. I don't know if you ever watched a good one to watch on him, a great interview. You ever watch Hot Ones?
Hot Ones.
On YouTube. It's a show where basically they eat chicken wings. Hot, spicy.
No. I've heard of that. Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf did one of them, and that was when he was promoting Honey Boy and Peanut Butter Falcon.
Okay.
And mind you, another fantastic movie by the way, Peanut Butter Falcon. Absolutely awesome movie. But he went in and did that, but he had fantastic ideas of you know, where his mind was and stuff like that, and you know, it was real good. But he like I said, I'm glad he cleaned himself up, and he can see. And I haven't seen that newest movie he did, the gangster one, the tax collector. Tax collector. It looks pretty good. I just haven't seen it yet.
I'm sure it'll be, you know, along the lines of those, you know, most of his roles were, you know, he just takes that character and puts his
spin on it.
Spin on his vision of that guy, you know, which is.
But I would definitely, I think I would absolutely love to see Shia in a MCU villain role, not a hero role. I think he could play a villain role really, really nicely.
Yeah, real nutty villain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he could definitely pull off a good nutty guy.
Maybe even a Sinister Six, maybe even a Sinister Six style.
Trying to. Oh man, that'll take too long. There's so many villains
he could do a Doc Ock. No, maybe not, because Dr. Octopus was I can't see Charlotte playing a scientist style.
Yeah, because I almost just said Dr. Doom.
I couldn't see Dr. Doom because the mask.
It's not pretty enough.
Yeah. I don't think he'd roll with the mask if they did it right. But like I said, there's plenty of actor, and I mean, he could do it. So there's some great mutant villains. Again, there's so many villains in Spider-Man alone. I mean, to me, I think Spider-Man's got the greatest villain lineup of any movie. But I think there is a big hint, and I think I talked about this last week with Comic Proposer. I think there's a lot of hints going on that Sony is going to eventually start pushing into Sinister Six.
Yeah, I actually saw that today. Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I would love to see the Sinister Six, but I think that's also where originally I thought Tom Holland's the only one that's going to jump back and forth, but I don't think that's going to be the case because after and it was more presented in the Spider-Man movie, but we all know that Tony had sold Avengers Tower. We know who he sold it to because they showed a clip of the skyline. I can't remember which movie. It says Oscorp.
Yep, right on the I was gonna say the logo is right there.
Mm-hmm. It's in the movie. It was quick, but it's in. I can't remember which movie it's in, and maybe it wasn't Spider-Man 2. I can't remember now, but I do remember seeing go. Oh, okay, now we know who bought the tower, and Norman Osborn bought it. So we know that's coming in. I know you had asked me in our original live. Oh, JKL just stopped and he has to go to bed. Yeah, we're probably going to end up this pretty soon. But Morbius. I am so looking. That's another one that I'm really, really looking forward to. I want to see Sony get some sort of deal to go video on demand with somebody, whether they make a deal with Netflix or whether they make a deal with Amazon or something, or whether they get their own streaming service or go with Apple. I don't give a shit. Put Morbius out because I think I like Jared Leto personally as an actor. I like him even more as a musician. I just think he's all around. He's fantastic at what he does. And now, mind you, with that being said, the Joker version of in Suicide Squad, no good.
Yeah, he's crossing over now. Yeah.
That was bad.
Gangster
That's a horrible version of Joker.
You don't like Gangster Joker?
That's a horrible version of Joker. But Morbius, though, I think is much more up his alley, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. I think he's going to play that character really well. There's been a lot of battles with Morbius, with Spider-Man, and I think that Morbius may eventually. I think there's still going to be. I think the best is yet to come with the Spider-Verse growing with the MCU, because you guys also got to think they're bringing Blade back. Blade had some great battles with Morbius.
Yeah. Huge.
I would love to see that.
So many. The branch coming off of the Spider-Verse is just New Mutants, Fantastic Four. They're
New Mutants is technically Disney now.
True.
But you got, I would say, the branch of the Spider-Verse coming off, of course, you're going to have, they're going to eventually bring in Sinister Six, which can always cross over either way. You got Venom, we got Carnage coming soon, which I think between Venom, Carnage, and Spider-Man, that's going to build that Spider-Verse tremendously. And then bring in characters like, bringing characters, like Morbius, bringing Jamie Foxx back as Electro. Although I really, really wish they put Electro in his classic outfit, green and yellow outfit, than what they did in the Amazing Spider-Man.
That hoodie.
Yeah, I've always loved Electro's outfit, to be honest with you. I thought it was great, but it is what it is. But I think there's going to be a lot of crossover. To be honest with you, I don't think Tom Holland's going to be the only one to cross over. I think there's so many comic books that people want to see. Things like the Sinister Six. I mean, we've already had the Sinister Six teased to us once before in the Amazing Spider-Man, and it never happened.
No. Now they're teasing us with Black Adam.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's just a lot's come. Shazam.
Well, that's DC though.
True. It is
that's DC.
Trying to keep up with the Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, Shazam has good. As long as they do the next one right, kind of like they did the first one, I think they have something there. And as long as they sign that actor to a multi-contract deal, I think you're going to have something there. Batman's going to suck. I'm going to say that right now. I've said it 100 times.
Yeah, let's do it.
Since Wolby Poppin is on here, I might as well get my rant out. Batman's going to suck. Everyone tells me I should give him a chance. In my eyes, I don't think Robert Pattinson's a good Batman. And mind you, I've watched that trailer probably 20 times. And I still can't see. I think the car is a horrible pick for the Batmobile. I think the outfit, the hood, the outfit alone, being that it's not even the whole
Cowl.
Batman outfit. It's not even it's not even the correct helmet. It's just not right.
They're already setting it up for failure.
No, you set it up for failure when you cast Robert Pattinson, first of all. Again, Robert Pattinson, in my eyes, is a chick flick actor. Know your role and stay in your lane.
Yeah, he's not gruff enough.
No.
No. I'll take Ben any day over that garbage.
Go do your Twilight. Go do your Water for Elephants. You stay in that realm. You know, he's not an action. I don't know. Again, it really Batman's going to come down to two things. And mind you, I'm going to watch it when it comes out, when it ever comes out, and I'm either going to be one really, really right that I would probably, even without seeing the movie, I'll put Robert Pattinson as far as a list of Batmans in between Val Kilmer and George Clooney. Because I still don't think anybody on the planet can be as bad as George Clooney was as Batman. Period. I mean, I don't think George Clooney's a bad actor. He's just a bad Batman.
Just a bad Batman. Yeah. Yeah. No, you can see Clooney's he's typecasted for me in other movies. So as soon as I see him on the screen, wait a minute, no, he can't be Batman. He just can't be Batman.
So nobody can be as bad as George Clooney was, but I put him just above. And the movie's not even out yet. All we have is a trailer to go off of, and you know the whole screaming, "I am vengeance!" Really, dude?
Yeah, vengeance.
And go over and just smack you around with shit. You know,
you can't pull off Keanu.
The hair down with the mascara and all this other stuff. You know, I'm just waiting for the sun to come out and him to start to glitter. I mean,
Sparkle.
I mean, come on, man.
The Diamond Edition.
Again, I'm either gonna look like I'm either gonna sit up there and run around and say, "I told y'all so. This is gonna be this bad," or I'm gonna sit up here with my tail between my legs and say, "Okay, you know, I didn't give the guy a chance." But I strongly feel that it's gonna be as bad as I think it's gonna be.
If it's really good, we'll have to get you a picture or a shirt with like a profile of him. You know, looking all pretty.
I will say it now, and you can quote me and bring this video back up. If that movie is halfway decent, I will have my wife on her cricket machine put a Robert Pattinson's face on a T-shirt, and I will wear it in Alive.
Yeah. There you go.
I will say that now. I will do that because I am that confident that this movie is going to be as bad as I say it's going to be. So the whole 5 people watching this can hold me to account of this. Whether any of you guys remember this or not, by that time is going to be 2 different things.
Me and the wife will watch it. She'll be like, "Hey, didn't Tex say he'd wear a shirt? Because this is really good." I'll get you.
I'll hold my end of the bargain for it for sure. So, but yes, I think that's enough ranting. Had to get my Robert Pattinson bashing in for the night, as that is until the movie comes out. That's going to be a constant until we do it. And since we never know at this point we don't even know when the movie's going to come out. It's going to be never-ending Robert Pattinson bashing, and I'm going to stick to that. But, buddy, thank you for coming on. What you got coming up this week?
Well, I just got my Infinity box. I'll be doing that.
I got to do that too.
I got a whole case of the Marvel Mystery GameStop boxes. I didn't want to try to find the variants. I just ordered the whole damn case. So I'm trying to figure out. Maybe I'll do a 2-parter on that. And that's all I got.
I've done the mystery box at GameStop the past couple of years, and for some reason I just decided not to do it this year.
Yeah, I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't, and then for the first time ever, they gave us the option to just buy them all.
Yeah,
and I, divvied up the money and said, "What's in my Funko fund?"
The only thing I went for was I bought eight Funkos to get that, or 7 Funkos to get that free one on the Funko shop.
To get that.
To me, it was just an excuse to order more stuff off the Funko shop.
Well, they've been putting old stuff on there that we can't.
I have a couple older items on there that I have, and what's funny is I was almost gonna do. I ain't gonna lie, I was almost gonna do because some of my recent videos they did talking about those Alien remix. I love the Alien remix, and I was almost gonna have my cart full with all the rest of them that I don't have. I was like, dude, I just did a video on Alien remix. I gotta change it up. So there's a plethora of items on there that I like. So you know, if you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But but anyways, guys, if you guys have not checked out Chase's Kingdom, his link to his Instagram and his YouTube is in the description down below. Before I let you go, give yourself a quick plug.
Thanks a lot, guys. Definitely check out Chase's Kingdom. I'm always trying to mix it up. Not always in the throne room. Take it here and there. But I definitely appreciate you guys, and thanks for getting me past that 100 Tech. You and Wayne, man, you helped me out big time. I really appreciate it, bro.
Hey, not a problem. And you know, get you at 200, and we'll keep going from there. So you know, it's just about growing. It's about enjoying yourself. And you know, to me, I've gotten to a point where I've had companies, I've had people come and tell me, oh, I'll get you to the 1,000. I'll get you the watch time. I'm like, I'll focus on that stuff myself. You know, I use some things here and there, but I'm just doing it. I enjoy it, and I know that subs are eventually going to come. And you know, I'm just going to keep doing my thing and go in there and just, you know, if the day I stop enjoying this is the day I'll stop.
Right. Embrace your inner nerd.
Exactly. Unleash your inner nerd. Unleash your inner nerd.
Unleash your inner nerd. That's right. Embrace. I will embrace your fellow nerd to unleash your fellow nerd.
There you go. Don't forget, guys, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to comment, smash that like button, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, as well as hit those post notification bells. That's all we got for you guys today. Another edition of talk about Marvel, all things Marvel, and our weekly dose of bashing Robert Pattinson. So other than that, do what you like, do what you love, and always unleash your inner nerd, guys. Take it easy.
Hey, let's go look.